Fasten your hair with a golden pin, and bind up every wandering tress. I bade my heart build these poor rhymes. It worked at them day out, day in, building a sorrowful loveliness out of the battles of old times. You need but lift a pearl-pale hand, and bind up your long hair and sigh, and all men's hearts must burn and beat, and kindle like foam on the dim sand, and stars climbing the dew-dropping sky live but to light your passing feet. Be you still, trembling heart. Remember the wisdom out of the old days. Him who trembles before the flame and the flood, and the winds that blow through the starry ways, let the starry winds and the flame and the flood cover over and hide, for he has no part with the proud, majestical multitude. The jester walked in the garden. The garden had fallen still. He bade his soul rise upward and stand on her window-sill. It arose in a straight blue garment when owls began to call. It had grown wise-tongued by thinking of a quiet and light footfall. But the young queen would not listen. She rose in her pale nightgown. She drew in the heavy casement and pushed the latches down. He bade his heart go to her when the owls called out no more. In a red and quivering garment, it sang to her through the door. It had grown sweet-tongued by dreaming of a flutter of flower-like hair, but she took up her fan from the table and waved it off on the air. I have cap and bells, he pondered. I will send them to her and die. And when the morning whitened, he left them where she went by. She laid them upon her bosom under a cloud of her hair, and her red lips sang them a love song till stars grew out of the air. She opened her door and her window, and the heart and the soul came through. To her right hand came the red one, to her left hand came the blue. They set up a noise like crickets, a chattering wise and sweet, and her hair was a folded flower, and the quiet of love in her feet. O cloud-pale eyelids, dream-dimmed eyes, the poets laboring all their days to build a perfect beauty in rhyme are overthrown by a woman's gaze, and by the unlaboring brood of the skies, and therefore my heart will bow when dew is dropping asleep until God burn time before the unlaboring stars and you. Never give all the heart, for love will hardly seem worth thinking of to passionate women if it seem certain, and they never dream, that it fades out from kiss to kiss, for everything that's lovely is but a brief, dreamy, kind delight. Oh, never give the heart outright, for they, for all smooth lips can say, have given their hearts up to the play. And who could play it well enough, if deaf and dumb and blind with love? He that made this knows all the cost, for he gave all his heart and lost. Oh, hurry to the water amid the trees, for there the tall deer and his lemon sigh, when they have but looked upon their images. Oh, that none ever loved but you and I. Or have you heard that sliding silver-shoed, pale silver-proud queen-woman of the sky, when the sun looked out of his golden hood? Oh, that none ever loved but you and I. Oh, hurry to the hollow wood, for there I will drive out the deer and moon and cry, oh, my share of the world, oh, yellow hair, no one has ever loved but you and I. Sweetheart, do not love too long. I loved long and long, and grew to be out of fashion, like an old song. All through the years of our youth, neither could have known their own thought from the other's. We were so much at one. But, oh, in a minute she changed. Oh, do not love too long, or you will grow out of fashion, like an old song. Pale brows, still hands, and dim hair, I had a beautiful friend, and dreamed that the old despair would end in love in the end. She looked in my heart one day and saw your image was there. She has gone weeping away. I went out to the hazel wood because a fire was in my head, and cut and peeled a hazel wand, and hooked a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing, and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in a stream, and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame, but something rustled on the floor, and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl, with apple blossom in her hair, who called me by my name and ran, and faded through the brightening air. Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone, and kiss her lips and take her hands, and walk among long dappled grass, and pluck till time and times are done, the silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun.